Welcome to welcome to Friday Night Lights here on Oneberg. Glad you could join us on our Oneberg Facebook channel, also on Oneberg YouTube. Maybe you're listening back on Spotify. I am your host, Ed Troup. Joining me is Mitch Montani. Mitch, it's week 6 across the WPIL, and for you and I, we're back home, if you want to call home, Canamac. We're a part of the Canamac Sports Network this year with the Troup Live High School Sports Network, covering all the Canamac football games. Last week, we took a trip to Greensburg, an hour and a half here from Canonsburg. Tonight, we get here back on the home turf here at AHN Field. For tonight, Seneca Valley Raiders will visit the Canamac Big Macs in a Week 6 6A conference.
Yeah, it's a big one for Canamac. We're hitting the stretch run here, and for Canamac, after last week's tough loss, it kind of turns into a must-win. You have some tough games down the stretch against North Allegheny and Central Catholic, and so games like this are pretty darn close to must-wins.
It's time to take a look across the WPIL. Tonight, it's homecoming night here at Canamac. The parade is going on right behind us, off in the distance. They're coming into the stadium with the band as they get ready to celebrate their homecoming 2025 here tonight at Canamac. But across the WPIL, some games to showcase. We'll start with Central Valley, who's 2-4 overall, 2-1 in conference play. They visit North Catholic, the Trojans, who are 5-1 and 2-0. Central Catholic struggled a bit in their non-conference schedule, but they played a tough one against Class 4A teams in Montour, Thomas Jefferson, and Bell Vernon, but rebounded with a couple of West Hills Conference victories before Avonworth beat them last week. So a mixed bag so far for Central Valley, but they travel tonight to North Catholic to face a Trojan team that's only lost once this year.
Yeah, the West Hills Conference is very good, and Central Valley, as they move to year to year, schedules themselves with extremely difficult out-of-conference opponents. And so by the time the conference slate rolls around, they're pretty much ready to go. Obviously, the Avonworth team that they ran into a couple of weeks ago is a buzzsaw, but Central Valley, despite the 2-4 record, going to be ready to roll.
Montour at Newcastle. The Spartans are 4-2 overall, 1-0 in conference play as they visit Newcastle, who's 5-1 and 1-0 in conference play. The Red Hurricanes quarterback, Marino Graham, scored a pair of touchdowns and threw for a third last week as they built an 18-0 lead. The Spartans' only loss were to Moon and March, 2 losses on the season for Montour so far, who's really played well, have the Spartans. Newcastle as well. This is going to be a good one tonight at Newcastle. Again, Newcastle 5-1 and Montour 4-2.
Yeah, Newcastle, they lost to Aliquippa, I believe, last week. But the Red Hurricane are having a great season, 5-1, and then they're facing the Montour team that's 4-2. Just a good old classic Parkway Conference matchup. That should be a good one with a lot of playoff implications tonight.
Thomas Jefferson 5-1 overall, 1-0 in conference plays. They visit Trinity, who is 2-4 and 1-0 in conference play. Trinity has played one of the toughest schedules in Class 4A, losses to 5A Moon, Peters Township, and Bethel Park. Meanwhile, the Hillers, they have a quarterback and Harvard recruit in John O. Williamson. Saw John O. Williamson play baseball last spring. Very good baseball player for Trinity as well, but he's headed to Harvard. He had 6 touchdowns last week against Ringgold. It's a very good Trinity football team. Even though they're 2-4 overall, they're looking at more of the big picture to do well in conference play at 1-0 in the year.
Yeah, Trinity is having a pretty good season. They have a lot of talent, as you mentioned, and again, a very difficult out-of-conference slate. But we're going to see what happens with the Hillers here tonight as we have our friend join us here on the Oneberg broadcast.
We have the Canamac Big Mac mascot here, the Highlander. Maybe we call you, or is that it, the Highlander? There you go. Coming to join us. Who do you like tonight, Highlander? Canamac? We'll send it to that. Canamac. All right. How about a high five? Thank you. Very good. Very good. The mascot here. I don't know, Highlander. Is that what you would call it? I
think so. I don't know what a Big Mac is.
Now they have more of that the bagpipe Scottish type feel towards it, right? So yeah. I think that's where that goes with that. All right, back to action. We were talking about TJ and Trinity. Another good one tonight. Hempfield at Norland. We saw Hempfield last week beat this Cannon McMillan team. Hempfield is 4-2 overall, 1-2. They play at Norwin, who's 4-2, 1-1 overall. Hey, Hempfield, listen, last week, 29 unanswered points in the second quarter against Cannon Mac, played very well. Dominic Dietrich, very good at the quarterback position. Norwin has a very good quarterback as well, and senior Tristan Tavares. So good matchup tonight at Norwin. Whoever wins this game most likely secures playoff spot. It won't be official, but they're probably one of the four teams that'll make it outside of Central Catholic and North Allegheny. Then a team like Canada, Seneca battle for the other spot with one who's probably the loser of this game.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how things stack up. And that's going to be a very big test when it comes to how everything's going to shake out in the conference. Because you know what 1 and 2 are going to be: North Allegheny, Central Catholic, in no particular order. And then you'll have 3 and 4. Norwin has positioned themselves.
The Hempfield Spartans on the road nearby Norwin. That's a big rivalry. Hempfield, Norwin, in Westmoreland County. That brings us to our game tonight. We'll give a live shot of the field here at AHN Field at Big Mac Stadium in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania. That's the Seneca Valley Raiders warming up right behind us. Cannon McMillan in their all yellow uniforms on the far side of the football field. We are about 40 minutes away from kickoff here tonight between Seneca Valley, the Raiders, who are 2 and 4 overall and 0 and 2 in conference play. Mitch, Cannon Mac 3 and 3, 1 and 1 in conference play. Last year, it was Seneca Valley barely escaping Cannon Mac, winning that game 31-30 at Seneca Valley. Seneca Valley is 1 and 3 in its last 4 games. Meanwhile, Cannon Mac 3 and 1 in their last 4 games. So two teams right now, as we currently sit, going in two different directions.
Yeah, Seneca Valley sort of surprised me last week. They lost to Mount Lebanon. I thought that game was going to be kind of close, but Mount Lebanon really pulled away at the end of that game. So we'll see what Seneca Valley comes out and offers tonight. They're 0 and 2 in the conference. So you want to talk about a team whose back is really against the wall. We'll see what they pull out here.
Let's get to our game picks here for week 6. We'll start with Central Valley, North Catholic. Who do you like?
Give me the Warriors. They're 2 and 4. It's a deceptive 2 and 4 record, though. I think they are ready to roll with the Western Hills Conference, and I think they get a big win against a 5 and 1 North Catholic team.
I agree, Mitch. I'm going to go with you. I think it's a close game, especially being at North Catholic. Central Valley, I think if this game's at Central Valley, I hands down pick Central Valley. But I'm going to go with Central Valley as well because they are battle-tested with that tough non-conference schedule, as I mentioned earlier, playing Montour, Thomas Jefferson, and Bell Vernon, all out of Class 4A. Montour, Newcastle, this game at Newcastle, Montour 4 and 2, Newcastle 5 and 1.
Yeah, classic Parkway Conference matchup like we talked about. Give me the Spartans on the road to take care of business against the Newcastle team that was set back a little bit last week against Allen football.
I'm going to go with Newcastle at home, our first disagreement tonight. First split. Mitch likes Montour. I'm going to go with the Red Hurricanes at home tonight. Thomas Jefferson at Trinity, a good one just down 79 from where we are here in Canonsburg tonight. A little further down in Washington, Pennsylvania, as Trinity 2 and 4 on the year. Again, tough non-conference schedule. 1 and 0 in conference play plays Thomas Jefferson. The Jaguars 5 and 1 and 1 and 0 in conference play.
Yeah, Trinity's been battle tested. This is a big test for Thomas Jefferson. They've had a very low key 5 and 1 start. The only loss was to Avonworth. They've had some ugly games, but they've otherwise taken care of business. I like them tonight to somehow get a win. I don't think it's going to be pretty. Trinity will hold it close. But give me Thomas Jefferson.
I'm going to go with TJ as well on the road at Trinity tonight. I agree with you. I think Trinity gets them a very good game. I think this might be the game of the night, actually, between these two teams, but I'm going to go with TJ on the road at Trinity. Hempfield at Norwin, a big showdown in Westmoreland County. Hempfield 4 and 2, Norwin 4 and 2.
Give me Norwin. I think just based on how Norwin behaved in that game against North Allegheny, holding that game so close, I like them tonight to really establish themselves.
I'm going to go with Hempfield on the road at Norwin tonight, just to make things more interesting in Class 6A. It'll just kind of junk things up.
It would certainly do that.
Behind Central Catholic and North Allegheny. Though, after that decisive win, Central Catholic against North Allegheny, you could start to make the argument that NA could possibly fall to 3 or 4. A lot to be determined, but there's a lot of hungry teams in Class 6A, and it's the same story year after year. Central and NA. I think a Norwin, a Hempfield, a Cannon, Seneca Valley, they might make a run here towards the end of the season. They might have something to say on.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting how things stack up in Class 6A, and that game's going to determine a lot. Because if Norwin wins, they really are the number 3 team. And you kind of know your top 3 teams are going to be. and then it's a battle for the final four spots. If Hempfield wins, the team behind us, Cannon Mac, still has a head-to-head against Norwin. And so things could really mix up in Class 6A depending on the result of that. So for competitive nature's sake, I'm cheering for Hempfield in that one because I want everything to be all mixed up in Class 6A.
Could be an interesting few weeks coming up for both those two teams as well as the two teams behind us. Brings us to our game tonight, which we will have to call at 7 o'clock on the Troup Live High School Sports Network, part of the Cannon Mac Sports Network. Seneca Valley 2-4, Cannon Mac 3-3. Big Macs or the Raiders tonight?
Give me the Big Macs big. I think Cannon Mac, especially after that tough second quarter a week ago, tough loss that had to Hempfield. I think they come back tonight with some vengeance. They know they have to get a win tonight against the struggling Seneca Valley team. I think they get it, and I think they get it close to a mercy roll. I don't know if I want to officially call it a mercy roll, but I think Cannon Mac wins big tonight.
Cannon Mac has won 3 straight home games, all 3 home games so far here at Big Mac Stadium. And I think they'll make it 4 tonight as they take care of business against the Raiders of Seneca Valley as one that continues to rebuild their program. So just to recap, Mitch and I both like Central Valley at North Catholic. We split on Montour and Newcastle. You like Montour. I like Newcastle. We both like TJ at Trinity tonight in a close one. We split on Hempfield Norwin. You like Norwin at home. I'm taking Hempfield on the road, and we both like Cannon Mac here at home tonight. It's another beautiful night in southwestern Pennsylvania. 6 and counting week 0, 7 weeks now into the high school football season. And every night's been like this. Blue sky. I think we had one night where there was a threat of some thunderstorms. We had a lightning delay at our first home game here at Big Mac Stadium. But other than that, it's been beautiful weather. And it looks to be that way once again this week. Enjoy week 6, everyone, across the WPIL. Should be a good one. Mitch, thanks for coming on.
Absolutely. We're due for a tornado, by the way, the way everything is stacking up through 7 weeks. It's been absolutely beautiful weather. Not a cloud in the sky tonight. Another dry evening. Should be a great atmosphere. So for some early October football.
But not a hurricane unless you're a Newcastle tonight, right? And they're hoping Montour Spartans will be part of that. Okay, we'll stop. We'll leave you with a live view here at AHN Field at Hannah McMillan Big Mac Stadium. For tonight, 7 o'clock, the Seneca Valley Raiders visit the Hannah McMillan Big Macs. Mitch, Montani, myself, Ed Troup will have to call on the Troup Live High School Sports Network as part of the Cannon Mac Sports Network. Enjoy week 6, everyone. Have a great night.